But now that we have nominated for state treasurer, next item of business is nominations for attorney general. I have received one timely notice for Democratic candidate for attorney general from current General Phil Weiser. And at this point in time, the chair recognizes Representative Julie McCluskey, Lisa Neal Graves for nomination and second, and Attorney General Phil Weiser. Rep. McCluskey, you guys have 90 seconds combined to get our general nominated.
I'm State Representative Julie McCluskey, and it is my profound honor to nominate Phil Weiser for a second term as Colorado's Attorney General. Thanks to Phil's leadership, Colorado's AG's office now stands as a force for upholding the rule of law, protecting working families and consumers, defending our great outdoors and precious water resources, and fighting for social and racial justice. Phil took on Big Pharma for their role in the opioid epidemic, securing hundreds of millions of dollars from drug companies and sending those dollars to Colorado's communities so they can help rebuild lives and fight addiction. Phil stood up for election integrity, refusing to join nonsensical lawsuits to overturn the 2020 election results. Phil Weiser is a man of compassion and courage, a public servant who leads with heart and represents our democratic values at every turn. I proudly nominate Phil Weiser for Attorney General in 2022.
Right on. Lisa Neal Graves.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Neal Graves, and I second the nomination for Phil Weiser. I have watched Phil keep his promises to us to defend our democracy, traveling to all 64 counties and continuing to engage with all of our citizens. And he has never met a stranger. I appreciate and support fully Phil for candidate. He is absolutely the stronger, wiser, fairer candidate. Thank you.
All right, Phil, you have been properly nominated and seconded. The floor is yours for 5 minutes to address the assembly.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Lisa. Thank all of you. It was 4 years ago when I came before you during a time of great uncertainty. There was eroding confidence in our government and a shameful lack of respect from leaders in Washington for the rule of law and our civil rights. 4 years ago, I shared with you my deeply held belief in our nation's promise of freedom and opportunity for all. As I explained, that promise is personal to me because my mom and my grandmother were liberated by the U.S. Army after they survived the Holocaust. And they were welcomed by the United States of America. And that welcome has led to untold opportunities for me, including a path of service that brought me to the U.S. Supreme Court to work for Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, as an advisor to Barack Obama in the White House, and now as your Attorney General. 4 years ago, I pledged to be the people's lawyer, and your support powered a campaign that helped us win and to deliver, yes, as Lisa said, a stronger Attorney General, a fairer Attorney General, and of course, a wiser Attorney General. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. As I stand for re-election, I'm not only running on a promise of what I'm going to do, I'm running on a record of what we've done, on results we've delivered, and more work we have to do. Our record is engaging every single county in Colorado, where we show up, listen to people, and deliver results. And those results include a promise of our democratic republic itself, a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. As your Attorney General, I stood up to defend our democracy and the rights of all Coloradans at a time when the Trump administration was tearing at the fabric of our democratic institutions, our civil rights, and the rule of law itself. This work included defending Colorado and our laws from attacks, including when I argued a major case before the U.S. Supreme Court defending Colorado's elections laws. We also won at the court and other courts for the Dreamers, for LGBTQ equality, taking on voter intimidation, and more, including when the Texas Attorney General sought to overturn the election itself. We are living at a scary time, and unfortunately, the work defending our democracy continues. When I was a candidate, I promised I would take on the opioid epidemic as a top priority. We've now done that, holding Big Pharma, irresponsible companies, and corporate executives from the Sackler family, Purdue Pharma, McKinsey, and more, accountable for marketing deceptive prescription pills, which took so many lives and families. Well, now we have $400 million coming to Colorado. We have a bottom-up framework with all local government on board to take on this addiction crisis. Make sure we can better communicate and build awareness about these deadly drugs and build more treatment and recovery that we so need. We're going to keep working hard to disrupt the supply of deadly fentanyl and to make sure that we work together to save lives. We have work to do to build a more just and effective criminal justice system. That work is related to our addressing the opioid crisis because we need solutions like treatment instead of jail and prison for people who are struggling. We've got to work against a cycle of reincarceration where people who might leave prison end up coming back because they can't find employment. And we have to address the school to prison pipeline so young people can get the support they need rather than end up in a criminal justice system. And we've got to work to hold accountable those who prey on Coloradans, including those who stole from our unemployment system or those who would batter or even kill significant others. And this, of course, includes addressing gun violence, keeping weapons out of dangerous people's hands. When it comes to protecting consumers, that's my life's work. And that's why as Attorney General, I prioritize consumer protection, bringing back over $35 million to Coloradans and $35 million in debt relief. We also took on big tech, including suing Google and Facebook, including for actions that hurt our kids. We pushed for new laws, including updating our consumer protection laws for the first time in a generation, and taking on deceptive auto-renewing services and building the first comprehensive data privacy law Colorado's had, only the third in the nation. We've also stood up for our land, air, and water. At the federal level, we took on rollbacks, such as the methane rule and clean car rule. And we also held polluters accountable here at home, making sure to fight for our water quality, including suing those who put out PFAS or forever chemicals. We've been protecting our land, air, and water on multiple fronts, including making sure we manage our water the right way, including building smart infrastructure, and including fighting against proposals to take water from the San Luis Valley that would harm our rural communities and ship it to the Front Range. When I last was before you, I was just the third Democrat who had a chance to become Attorney General since the Truman administration. We've done it. And over the last 3 years, we've shown why we need a Democrat as Colorado's Attorney General, defending our democracy and civil rights, taking on the opioid epidemic, improving our criminal justice system, defending consumers, and protecting our land, air, and water. I know we have more work to do, and I'm honored to do that work to be a stronger Attorney General, a fair Attorney General, and yes, a wiser Attorney General. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you, Phil. So we have properly nominated, seconded, and accepted the nomination by Phil Weiser for Attorney General on our 2022 ballot.